Namaskar, as we do in Nepal. And since we are at this conference, at this important gathering, virtual gathering from different places. In some places, it may be early in the morning, so maybe I should say good morning, or maybe good afternoon or good evening, because depending on where people are, it's different time of the day. And the participants I see are spread all across the world, which is a very happy thing for us. Well, this is a very important meeting, and this is to celebrate the International Mountain Day 2020. First of all, I welcome you all. Well, we have come together with a view to celebrate International Mountain Day, a tradition that I think was initiated sometime in 2002, 2003. So I think this is perhaps the 18th one. And thanks to the advances made in the cyberspace technology, we are now able to hold this important virtual gathering, even though it is a time of COVID pandemic, which is threatening the whole world. We are able to come together in one way and share our feelings, share our knowledge and experiences. I'm delighted to have this opportunity to welcome you all to this 18th International Mountain Day celebration. What made it possible for this nature of meeting? Well, as mentioned earlier, it is the technological development. Without something like Zoom platform, we would not be meeting like this. I'd like to say thank you, Zoom, also. Today, I'm reminded of an international conference on mountains held in 2002 in South America. To be specific, it was in a place called Huaraz of Peru. During that time, I was visiting the University of Georgia and working on a proposal together with Professor Robert Rhodes, who was at that time head of the Department of Anthropology. Our idea was to design a project which would undertake comparative ethnographic research in Peruvian and Himalayan regions, involving faculty and a number of PhD students from University of Georgia as well as Tribhuvan University. The idea was considered good and therefore supported by the University of Georgia department as well as the authorities at the university, but somehow the Department of Anthropology at TU at that point in time was not able to write supporting letters for the proposed joint research project, and therefore we didn't have any project. With the untimely demise of Professor Robert Rhodes, all those plans of undertaking comparative research on nature, environment, and culture in the two highlands, that is Himalayas and the Andes, had to be abandoned. I'm sharing this case since I somehow have a feeling that some of the scholars attending this event today may also like to design and undertake comparative research or studies covering the highlands of the Himalaya, Peru, Ethiopia, and so on, covering diversity of issues and problems, some similarities and some differences. Some of these issues and problems have already been introduced for the Hindu Kush Himalaya by the mountain scholars I've named earlier. If any of this is interested, anyone is interested, Resources Himalaya Foundation is willing or ready to collaborate with a research project. I want to say this during my welcome speech right now. The environmental conditions, as well as the life and livelihood making of the people living in the mountain areas in various parts of the world, are characterized by conflicts, hardships, operation, uncertainty, etc. Culturally, they may be of distinct nature from one to another. But in terms of economic and political dimensions, most of the highland communities tend to remain oppressed, kept at bay from the benefits of development in technology and infrastructures, science and research-based knowledge sharing, economic gains, etc. I'm thinking of the people in Nepal's Himalayan region and their livelihood strategies, and those may be the same kind of conditions in other parts of the world also, whether that be in Andes or the Ethiopian highlands or anywhere else. Well, I would like to give you an example of how this pandemic has affected some of our mountain people. And the example that I'm going to use is from what I know from my own involvement in research and having spent about 1 year each in among Loba people in Mustang or the Manangba people in Manang district. Let me talk briefly about the Loba only. The Loba people, for instance, were used to locking their homes and moving with their family during winter to southern lowlands or even up to India and earn cash either by selling things like medicinal herbs, woolen clothes, and other items that they had bartered with Tibetan people in the border area of Lomantang or Mustang, brought along with them from highlands or by working for others. This was also their strategy to save little amount of cereal they produce annually by being absent from the village during winter months. This year, because of the pandemic, Loba were not able to migrate. They had to abandon their tradition for the first time of migrating during the winter months. From what I know about their lifeways, migration saved food, cereals, and enabled them to earn cash income by selling medicinal herbs and woolen carpets and sweaters, or working on wages, etc., but not for this winter. This winter, they had to abandon the age-old practice of winter movement to the lowlands from the highlands. Hope this meeting encourages us to undertake comparative research, as I indicated earlier, research projects comparing and contrasting and talking about similarities as well in the highlands, whether it be Himalayas and Andes or Himalayas and Ethiopian highlands or Himalayas and other highlands. So once again, I welcome you all to this webinar to talk about mountains, resources therein, and all life forms, including us humans. Thank you very much.